Hi, everyone. Sorry, I am here. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm rambling on and on for about 5 minutes. Forgot to hit the live button. And then I look and then I see whose comment. Whose comment did I see? Someone was like, I'm worrying. And I'm like, no, I'm here with you. What do you mean you're worrying? No, I'm not here with you. I'm here with you, but I'm not here with you. Welcome to the Hoodoo Tarot Study group. Thank you all so much for joining me. Thank you for me trying to still get used to this whole live streaming thing. I'm going to get it together, you guys. I promise you. So welcome, welcome. So the time when I did that countdown, by the way, so you all know, that was when I was kind of rambling on and when I should have hit live. But because I thought I did the countdown, I'm like, oh, I did the countdown. That must mean that it's going to kick into the live. No. So I'm learning. By the end of this tarot study group thing, I'm going to have it all down. Yes, we are here. How are you guys doing? How's it going? Do you have your Hoodoo Tarot in your hands? Are you ready? Because Monday, we kick it off tonight, but Monday is when we get to start really delving into this amazing deck. And so I'm just so excited. So excited. Oh no, don't buffer. Can you guys hear me? Can you see me? Let me know in the comments. Hi, Essence 18. Thank you so much. You're here and it's all right as rain. You guys are so kind. I'm like, I'm 5 minutes late. No, I'm 10 minutes late because I didn't hit the live button. I'm like, I'm gonna get the hang of it. Okay, good. Thank you, Kim and Whisper. So let's get on into it because I have a whole laundry list of things that we're going to talk about tonight, including a giveaway announcement towards the end of our little time together. I promise you guys I won't keep you all day. That's why, I like to keep an agenda. I like to keep a schedule because I try to be respectful of people's time. So upset about that. Sorry. If you hear things in the background, just be forewarned. It's Friday night in the DR, and I live kind of in I want to call a resort kind of thing. So people are always coming in on the weekends and partying and stuff like that. So I'll do my best if that happens. Also, I'm pouring a little honey in my tea. They all like motorcycles out here, so you might hear the revving. Motorcycles. Don't mind me and my honey and my tea. Oh, good. I love that you all are getting to know each other. I love that. And I want to talk about that because while I was working on Tarothon, working on kind of ramping up with my business out here, my reading business, it was hard for me to transition to be able to focus then on my social media. But it's important for this tarot study group for me to make sure I stay dialed in for that. And finally, I feel like, okay, I've got my little schedule down for next week and I'm super excited because this is something I'm passionate about. But we get busy and then you guys just started getting to know each other in the Facebook group. You started sharing, you started interacting with one another. I'm super grateful for that because I'm learning right along with you. I am, yes, taking the lead on this tarot study group, but this is not just my, teach. No, this is a collective, collaborative experience that we're having together. It is across social media platforms, YouTube, it's going to be on Instagram, it's going to be in our Facebook group. That's where I'm going to primarily be, okay, by the way, the Facebook group. But thank you. Okay, so it's Friday night. Can we celebrate that? It is Friday. It is Friday night. I don't know what time it is where you all are at, but that was always a cause for celebration where I'm from. Okay, opening day. Now, some of you will be like, I don't have the Hoodoo Tarot, and that's okay. when I do these tarot study groups, I do it with the thought in mind that you don't have to have the deck that we're using and we're studying and deep diving in order to participate. I try to create things, I should also say this too, that the Herb Crafters Tarot Study is going to be different. It's evolved, like I've evolved. So there's going to be different things I'm adding to it and doing for the group, but you will still be able to get along without it. And in fact, that's quite all right. I love to hear and see what people share. Like, people didn't have the Herb Crafters Tarot when we were doing the tarot study group in the Facebook group, but they shared some spreads that they were using and some readings they had with with their deck, but they were following along with what we were doing, what we were looking at, and so and sharing information about herbs. And so now we have a whole new subject matter, one that I'm super duper excited about, you guys, because I have been doing a lot of ancestral work in the last couple of years, but particularly in 2020. And so when the Hoodoo Tarot came into my collection, I think, was it 2019? I have to look at the little guidebook. Whenever it came, I was like, it came right on time in that part of my journey, my spiritual journey. And then I had created an altar in Sacramento, and I don't have an altar now, an ancestral altar. I do a lot of ancestral work. I haven't straight got into spells and things like that. I've done a few candle spells. Don't look to me like I'm some like hoodoo know-it-all. I'm not, you guys. I'm a lover of this deck. I'm a lover of the culture it's born, because that's where my people are from. And I want to know so much. I feel so spiritually called to do this work and to continue on the path of understanding and growing with it, and growing with others who want to do the same for themselves. So it just made sense for the Hoodoo Tarot to be the deck that we explore with this coming time around. It's mass market. I kept that into consideration because I wanted people who wanted to participate to be able to participate. So it's available. Yay. And to that end, I have a giveaway announcement. So towards the end of our live time together, I will be announcing a giveaway. And it's going to include some decks. All right. So periodically, I will be checking the chats so I can stay abreast of that. Y'all, bear with me. Chris, it's just after midnight. Thank you for joining me. I'm so appreciative. So this is why I'm going to stay on course and stay on the agenda tonight. So for our peeps who are up really late or really early. So tell me, are you excited about the Hoodoo Tarot like I am? Were you hoping for a different deck to study? Or did this make sense to you? Like, I'm curious to know. Okay, this is a good question. Is the Herb Crafters Study group done? Here's the thing about my tarot studies. They're designed to be ongoing. Now, I have 2 more videos I plan to create on YouTube for the Herb Crafters Tarot. That is the Queens, the suit of Queens, or the Madres. Please don't make fun of my Spanish. The Madres. And then the curanderas. I cannot say it right. The Kings. So I'm going to be doing those 2 videos. They'll be happening this month. I already have the Queens, the Madres, scheduled for next week to record. And folks in the Facebook group will still chat about the Herb Crafters Tarot. I'm going to still chat about it. For me, it's like a summertime deck. It's a deck that I enjoy using in the summertime. People are going to watch my YouTube channel months from now and find the Herb Crafters Tarot and wonder the same thing that you're wondering. Is it still going on? Well, in the Facebook group, theoretically, yes. There will be tagged items, like where we tag the topic related to the Herb Crafters Tarot. Similar thing, I guess, you could do on Instagram, but I'm still learning Instagram. Y'all have to bear with me on that one. But tagging. And you're going to always still find people who are ready to engage in it. We may have moved on to a new deck, but I wanted a tarot study that you could still very much feel a part of the collective conversation around the deck. And if you have wanted to deep dive into it, nobody's going to be like, well, we moved on. I'm not going to be like that. And I'm pretty sure that the beautiful folks that we have over there are not going to be like that either. So that's what I had in mind. Hold on. Let me see. The chat's got away from me. Well, hello. Queen said, oh, yes, girl. Welcome. Thank you for joining. All of you, thank you so much for joining. Let's see. I'm just looking at all the chats, so don't mind me. Yes, thank you. I'm grateful to work with the Hoodoo Tarot too. I don't know who's knocking at the door. See, it's these little elements like that. Ella, can you go let your dad know that there's someone at the door? And see, that's just kind of the life that I wasn't really used to in Sacramento. Like, if someone was knocking on the door, it was probably the Amazon delivery man or some sort of delivery somebody. Yeah, thank you. It's a delivery person who missed. They're so used to, okay, now look at me getting all like an attitude. My husband goes to answer the door. It's a delivery person that went to the wrong house, I'm sure. But they come here all the time, so bless their little hearts, because it's just, I was like, nobody better disturb my life, I'm gonna kill him. And so everybody's like deer in the headlights here, like, oh no. See, but in Sacramento, I have my own little designated recording spots. Thanks, babe. So. Okay, Scorpio Moon Spirit. So open for a different deck. Okay, yeah, and you could definitely use a different deck. Now, some of the things we're going to be speaking on is going to be specifically, for example, talking about Miss Ida, right? She's representative of the High Priestess. So we'll be looking at that, looking at our understanding. Some people are coming to it from the Rider-Waite-Smith understanding like I am, and some people may be more like thought favored or Marseille, you know, like they may have different approaches, but we still can be able to come together and have an intelligent and fun and respectful conversation around the Hoodoo Tarot, and there will be new decks in the future. I anticipate, just so you all know, that based on my schedule that I created, it's going to be a solid summer. It's going to be like at least the full 3 months. Well, and I'm sorry, I have folks in the Southern Hemisphere. It's going to be a solid like 3 months tarot study that we're really solidly doing. And then from there, I'll take a break, like a month off or so, and then vote. We vote and see what the next deck will be that we are going to work on. So, you know, if you're, thinking about another deck, think now about potential decks that would be great in a tarot study. This one is great because it's not just tarot, right? This is Hoodoo combined with tarot, and it's a lot that comes into Hoodoo, right? There is the actual practice, the spiritual practice of it. There is what we know of it intellectually, culturally, historically. So many different things that are just tied into Hoodoo. And then you marry it with tarot, it's just like, whoa. I know for me, I will not be the same person that I was here now. We never are, ever. But after doing this deep dive with this deck, I already can foresee that I'm going to have radical experiences with it. I already know. Like, I'm so excited. So here it is. This is the Hoodoo Tarot. I don't have the box. Not here. I have the guidebook. And We've talked at length about it. Sorry, guys. It's so hot though, and I have to have the window open. All right. I'm excited about the deck because it's called to me for a while. Then when you announced the study group, I was thrilled, right? We get to celebrate this deck. Many of us probably have had it and it's just been sitting on our shelf. Or me, I was only using it when I was in Sacramento in my ancestral work. So I would I would have weekly church with my ancestors. Once a week, I was, work on my altar, like having like a church day, if you will. I'm having a spiritual coming home with my ancestors moment. And that was the deck that I used to have the conversations with my ancestors. This one. And then if there were cards that spoke to me, I would place them. I had like a little place, like a card holder to hold some of the cards that I would want to ruminate on over the week. Until it's time to have church again with my ancestors. So I was using it in that way. I wasn't really called to use it in any other way. I wasn't really called to use it as a reader for clients. And that could very well change after this. Like the Herb Crafters, the Herb Crafter has the Herb Crafters has changed for me after doing our tarot study group. It used to sit on the shelf. It used to be something, oh, this is kind of pretty and cool to look at and pull it off the shelf maybe every blue moon. Now it sits in my reading space, on my reading table. And I'm using it when I first thought I was going to get the Herb Crafters Tarot, when I heard about it and I pre-ordered it and all that, I envisioned it was going to be a great seasonal deck for summer, spring and summer, but I didn't use it. But after our time together, I use that deck now. Okay. All right. I know me. Now, Project Refine Life. We are never done. I don't want to be done studying a deck. It's just a beautiful ongoing process, right? I never want to be done. Yay, I'm excited that you're excited to learn. Okay. Well, that we could present that to the Oshos and to the group and see if that's something we all want to study. Guess what? I know of it very well. I don't have it. Not that I can't get it, but I don't have it. So I'm definitely curious to see if you guys are going to want to do it, then we're going to have to let me know so then I can go on and order it at some point. Yes. Thank you. Aloha. Thank you for joining me. Thank you. And we got you. And we got you. We'll have a lot of information on the replay for you. Happy birthday. Let's see. Oh, wait. Whose birthday? I wanted to say hi. I'm off to get my son before we go to a birthday party. Okay. Well, have fun. Have fun. Aloha. Yes, I can do that. I've had this author Sibil's deck on my shelf for a while and haven't used it, but that's going to change now, I'm sure. That's going to be one of my oracle decks that I use in conjunction with the Hoodoo Tarot. Is the Sibil's Oraculum, the Oracle of Black Doves. And yeah, I did actually use it with my ancestral work, but when I moved from the US to here to the DR, I'll be honest, like my ancestral work that I had started and was just loving and craving and doing every other day, but certainly every week of having a moment with my ancestors, like honoring them and spending time with them, it has fallen off because everything has been disrupted. But I will be showing you guys at some point the progress on the house that we have been building. And it has a little office space for me where I will have my ancestral altar at, like I did in my old home. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Can't wait to show you guys. Maybe that's what I'll do, those little shorts you know, it's little short videos that people are doing now, which is cool, like little bite-sized stuff. Yeah, okay. Yes. So for those of you who wasn't really into the Herb Crafters Tarot, or you're like, I want more herbs and things to work with, you're right. Definitely some herbs and roots and things of that nature all up and through the Hoodoo Tarot Study, Guide, and Deck. So I think there's a theme going on here, folks, that our group is doing here. What do you think? All right, so I am going to discuss some of the books. And before we do that, I just kind of wanted to show off some of these cards. This is the Big Queen, this is Empress. Next week, I will be putting out a video that's going to be deep diving into the Fool, which is the free man, the Black Hermit, which is the magician, and Miss Ida, which is High Priestess. And I don't have the rest in order, but I started to put the deck in order for that purpose. I really like the art style and the colors. The colors are so beautiful. And I don't know why I don't read it for client and use it in client readings, honestly. I don't know. I haven't been intuitively called, I know that, but I don't know. Like, I wonder if that will change for me after we deep dive into it. Will I then be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna totally bust it out? Or is there something about it for me that's kind of sacred, and that I felt like it's just most, like it was important for me to keep it. Like this deck was sitting next to the Bible that my grandmother, my paternal grandmother, gave me when I was 7 years old. And it has it's a white Bible, and it has my name engraved on it. And it's still intact, because, you know, I'm kind of old. And I keep certain things sacred, and that's one of them. And I'm not even like someone who's like all pulling out the Bible, but I did read Bible scriptures on those times when I got together with my ancestors. Look at this Nine of Knives. Nine of Swords. This deck would be there with it. So for me, it's kind of like, I don't necessarily want everybody else's energies on this deck. Now, maybe I get a backup copy and use it for client readings. We'll see. I don't know. How do you guys use it? Yeah, I agree. I agree. For me too, it's more of a personal, and isn't it nice to have something that's just for you, for your eyes only, for your work. For me, it is. There are certain decks that I prefer to just have for my eyes only, and I don't feel wasteful about that. And I think it's perfectly okay. It's doing its purpose. But yeah, it's just, I was curious to know, like, am I the only one that just holds it in a certain esteem that it can't be used with other people's energies? Or no? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I hear you on that. I hear you on that. It just has that energy. Yeah. Cool. All right. So books. We in the Facebook group have already touched upon a huge, not huge, I can't say huge, but I mean, I've got enough to now fill up a summer reading list, that's for sure. I'm excited about that. And so I have a book list that I've created that for myself, and everybody can peruse that thread in the Facebook group. And if you're interested, I don't know, I could probably do a write-up on my blog if you guys want me to do that, where I list the books, at least my summer reading list. But there were a lot more resources of information, not even just books too, that was in the Facebook group. But I want the folks who are not in Facebook land, if they're just in Instagram land or YouTube land, I want to be able to, for them to have a little reading list. But I'm excited about my reading list. I just want to go over some highlights of some of them here. I'm trying to do this. I'm going to do this. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to figure this out. Where's my book list? I don't think I did it. I wrote it down. I thought I created a book list. Anyways, I don't know. I wrote it down for sure, but I can't always understand my handwriting. That's the problem. So I think I will create, if I haven't done so already, and I thought I started one, a reading list. And I'm going to have my personal summer reading list take. And folks who want to chime in on that blog post can do so and add other book recommendations. You're more than welcome to do that. I encourage it. But yeah, I'm super duper excited about the reading. This is going to drive me crazy. Where is my... Hold on, guys. Let's see if I can find it. I can't. Let's see what the comments are saying. Just me. Yep, I agree. Just us. It's a deck just for our eyes. Yep. And that's okay, you know. And there surprisingly also people are like, oh no, nothing's precious. I used like 2 decks. And I'm like, not I, said the cat. Isn't it a fabulous book list? I was so excited. So again, thanks to Queen Aset by his girl. That's her channel. Check it out. She had put the book, I think it's called Ancestral Tarot, and she said, you know, she had discussed some things about the book. And then in the end, I said, okay, I had like a credit on my Kindle today. And I was like, and then it came up, of course, as a recommendation. So I got it, but that's not the only books that I got over the course of the past month since we've been preparing for the Hoodoo Tarot. Many of you have made some wonderful book recommendations, books I've already read. I have already read Tiana Lee McQuillar. She's the creator of the Hoodoo Tarot and the Sibil's Oraculum, right? She has a book called Root Work. I have read that book already, like a month or so, like a month or two back. And then I started reading Hoodoo for Beginners, but then there's a whole other books that I wanted to dive into. There were fictional books that were recommended that I end up buying on my Kindle that's part of my reading list. Fiction is so important, right? Because it can immerse you into how a root worker, how a root working family, and heck when, you know, I think it takes place, I think at the turn of the century. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check. It's called Conjure Women. That's one of the books that was recommended. And I'll be checking it out. But it's like women, you know, Black women, I would imagine, from my family's neck of the woods, the South, and them doing their root work and, you know, with the backdrop of coming out of slavery, and now you're entering, I think, is it Reconstruction, the Reconstruction time period? I have to double check. You guys can let me know in the chat if you know more about that book. But that's another recommendation. There's books, I think his name is Tony Rail, that talks about hoodoo in Memphis. And my family, I have family there in Memphis, but I also, the bulk of my parents' family lives in Mississippi, and they live about an hour and a half drive south from Memphis. And I'm curious to read. So I will compile something more formalized that we have, you know, that I could tell that we kind of was like, yeah, read this book, check this out. Now, some books, you guys know, with anything with talking about something that is particularly talking about a culture and a cultural spiritual practice, and then there's a lot of appropriation that's happening with that. You're not going to always get like good content, right? It's with anything. You're not going to always get good literature, So I'm always like wanting to make sure that the recommendations that I'm putting out there is something that we all want to stand behind. It's hard to, it's not hard to discern because you can tell, you can look at an author's background. But, you just have to be careful with these things. We have to be careful. I have to be careful. And yes, I am, a person who is, Black. I consider myself Black, African American. But I haven't been practicing hoodoo or root work my whole life. So I too have to step lightly and make sure I'm being respectful as we start to talk about certain subjects and topics related to this deck and this tarot study group. Yes, let's see what we're talking about here. Sorry guys, I'm all moist. It's humid today. Okay, I will do that. I will put that on my to-do list. I'm actually looking forward to it. I was a blogger before I was a blogger, and I kind of miss it sometimes. Ooh, that's a fabulous idea. I will work on that this weekend. Because now now my schedule's cleared enough where I'm just doing client readings and Hoodoo Tarot Study Group. And that's like the perfect like mix for me. So this weekend I will create a poll, various polls, across social media, mainly obviously our Facebook group. This is the easiest for me to congregate all of us together about that. But wouldn't it be great to vote on which books should be on the list? And then we put it on the list? Because like I said, doing this collectively, collaboratively. And I thank you, Project Refined Life, for suggesting that. Ooh, okay. This is good. I'm trying to decide among Earthbound Oracle, Roots and Wings Oracle, and the Urban Crow Oracle to go with the Hoodoo Tarot. It's interesting. I'm gonna read the rest of the comment in just a moment. But the Urban Crow Oracle, aesthetically, you know what I mean? Like composition. I'm no artist, so I don't know what I'm saying in that regard. But it kind of has a similar feel. That's interesting. I'll probably use all of them in turn before setting into a specific choice. Yes, you can totally do that. And I'm going to be doing that too, to be honest with you. You will be seeing that throughout the tarot study with me. That's just how I roll anyway. I have a lot of oracle. And I'm always like trying to coordinate my oracle with my tarot. So let me see. Hold on. Yes, she sure did. And we need to, I will link, I'll make notes of these things. Should I have my pen? I will link her videos pertaining to the Hoodoo Tarot in the description box, because she did have great recommendations. And she was so gracious in the Facebook group to offer some further recommendations as well. And I just ate them all up. Like now I have a beautiful collection in my Kindle library, and I'm so excited. And my husband does Audible. I do more Kindle because if it's a book with spreads, I need to actually see the spreads. I can't do Audible with that. So yeah, I need to make a note. I will link that. Hold on. Yeah, the Roots and Wings, I have the Roots and Wings, and it does go with everything. It goes with everything. It's a beautiful deck. It's got just a gentle energy, and it's just one of those decks that can definitely go with everything. Yes, Root Work by the Deck Creator. And I read that, and like you can read it like really fast. It's a fast read. It'll get you kind of excited for wanting to dig into the meat of it. But I'm now also going to look at the historical aspects and cultural aspects of root work, because like the Memphis books I was mentioning, Memphis and Mid-South, I think his name is Tony Rail. Don't worry, because those books I'm going to insist upon being in our list. Because I think it's important that to focus on how regionally it was, and where it was regionally, the practice of hoodoo. I'm very interested in that. Why? Because my parents and their people and their peoples are from that time. And then I started to realize and started just having such reverence for my maternal grandmother, realizing, oh my gosh, she was a root worker, but she was not going to be calling herself that because of where she lived. And so it's so near and dear to me to understand the historical aspects, the cultural aspects of it, as well as doing the work, doing the spells. But I'm approaching it myself personally from that aspect. And yeah, I do like to do ancestral, veneration and honoring and whatnot. That's like super important to my practice. Let's see. Yes. And I don't have the urban crow, but I've seen it. And I remember I got a flash in my mind, like, yeah, those two just feel like they just would go really well. Yes. Oh, Pacific Northwest. That's it. The Spirit Oracle from the Relative Tarot looks amazing with the hoodoo, doesn't it? It really does. Oh, the Spirit Oracle. When you mentioned that to me, Chris, or mentioned it in the group, and I searched it, I was like, oh, I wish I had that. I was like, I need that in my life. All right, so make sure I stay on course. All right. So that's what we'll do. I will create a list this weekend. Well, no, before I create that list, I want to make sure I run it by the peeps. Make sure we are on a consensus here about what books we want to, tote from our tarot study group as ones that are the ones to actually explore for others, right? Sharing and tools. Now, I don't really, at this point, because I've dismantled my altar tools, like my ancestral altar that I had. I didn't, like I said, I wasn't doing a lot of spells work. Maybe a candle spell here or there. That's the extent of where it was going for me. But I did use my magical dice, my divination dice. Do you all have tools that you plan to use, not just Oracle, but tools that you will be utilizing with your tarot study or with your deck? Just curious about that. Because now I'm going to go to our plan. I'm going to share the screen here. Let's do that. Okay. Now is it going to let me share? How do I share? Hold on, guys. I want to share it where it's. Okay. Let me try this again. So you guys have seen this before. This is on my website, my blog, my website, abundantlifetarot.com. And if you're new to the tarot study group, this is a good place to go and get started to see what we're going to be doing for these next several weeks. And there's a long version, got you covered, or a short version, like a 10 to 15 minute video. And then there's like a 30-minute one, the top one. And I'm not going to bore the folks who have already seen this, but I just want to make sure that people see this is what the link that I'm going to include in the description box. This is what it looks like on my website. The Hoodoo Tarot Study Group page. Bookmark it, save it, do as you need. Some of my lovely group members, I love you guys. You printed it out And you also print out the schedule and you put in these beautiful journals. And I was like, oh, it looks so good. My husband bought a printer today. And I'm still trying to be green because we are on an island. And I don't want to be disrespectful about that, but I might print mine as well versus using an old funky tablet. Um, I just like paper and writing things and just having tangible things to see and smell and feel. So yeah, we've got this. What else? Now, just two things I really want to touch upon quickly before we move forward. Before we look at some of the Oracle decks I'm going to be using with my Hoodoo Tarot. Importante. Muy importante. 2 weeks of working exclusively with the deck is what's happening. So whenever you join the Hoodoo Tarot Study group, if you join 5 weeks from now, and we're well into it, right? Or if you are doing it now from day one, what I'm asking of everyone is to commit to doing 2 weeks of working exclusively with the deck and 1 to 3 card draws to questions or daily guidance. Now, obviously, if you're a professional reader, like I'm a professional reader, I have the deck I use for professional client readings. Obviously, I'm not going to be using my ancestral deck. But anytime I'm doing any kind of questions that are not on the clock, it's going to be with my Hoodoo Tarot. And I'm going to be on Mondays putting out the weekly prompt. I've written up like 13 prompts that I plan to put out Mondays in my morning time. I'm in Atlantic time zone, Atlantic Standard Time Zone, which is the same right now as Eastern Time Zone. So I'll put it out in the morning when I wake up. And, I might have a video. I might have some spreads that I end up expanding from that prompt. But it can be used as a journal prompt, which I plan to do both. I plan to use it as a journal prompt, as well as expanding from the thing I came up with for our journal prompts, turning it into a spread that I can use with the Hoodoo Tarot. So we do that for 2 weeks, and that's why you have your handy dandy schedule that I created on a spreadsheet that I'll show you in a moment. Do that. I think that alone is really going to help you deepen your connection with the deck. Okay, and I came up with some interesting prompts that were inspired by some of the things she had with her majors. Tiana had with her majors. She has like these questions here, and I was like, some of them worked, but some of them didn't. So I pulled out the Hoodoo Tarot and I shuffled and used the cards that jumped as more of the inspiration for the questions that I ended up posing for our journal prompts / spread prompts. So we have, and I want to see your input. Like if you are on Instagram mainly, you can tag hashtag Hoodoo Tarot Study and put up the kind of work that you're doing with it. If you're doing video responses or you're doing videos or, educating on how you're working with the Hoodoo Tarot Study, please, please, please do it. Like I said, yes, I'm taking the lead on this, but I really want people to feel called to work as they wish to work with it and share, because we all learn from that. I swear. Queen Ossette's video about anytime some of my faves do unboxing or a walkthrough. I mean, it's really taking us on a journey, like a learning journey, but just also a spiritual one. So I'm never going to turn down or turn away content. And in the Facebook group, to that end, guys, feel free to put that content. If you want to do a video or if you did one on your YouTube channel about it, don't be shy. The group is okay for you to put that about the Hoodoo Tarot Study. If it's about the Hoodoo Tarot Study thing, the Hoodoo Tarot even, please share with me. All right, important point number 2. So we got the deck spreads 1 to 3 card, draws that I'm going to be doing daily. You don't need to post it daily unless you want to. You could, once a week is when this prompt is going to go up. So you could just do it for one day, or you could be like me where I'm planning on doing a 1 to 3 card draw for 2 solid weeks with this deck for myself, for readings for myself. Maybe sometimes readings for the collective. We'll see how I'm feeling about that. But you could just do it once a week because it's going to come around every Monday. But journaling, it's not just doing the spreads, it's also doing the journaling work with that prompt that I've come up with. And I've come up with 13. So that's why I'm thinking it's going to be like 12 to 13 weeks, probably more like 13, 15 weeks with this deck. It's a commitment, folks, but 2 solid weeks. Doesn't matter when you join the tarot study group. If you joined it 6 months from now, you got your 2 weeks in. And that's what it is. We're continuously learning. And I'm going to get excited because whenever somebody's new joining the Facebook group or following my Instagram and they're like, oh, I'm trying to do the tarot study, and they start doing their content, their work, their process, it's going to still enhance what I've already learned and gained from our time together. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else on here that I want to talk about. Oh, a note on journal prompts. You can certainly use your own prompts for your journal entries. Make the journal experience unique for you and your ancestors' expression. I have downloaded this information by, sitting at my reading table using the deck itself and her guidebook as inspiration for the prompts. But by all means, please use your spreads that you find that works best for you. Recommend them if you think that's best for the group and for, our tarot study group. All right. Got the giveaway announcement. Stay tuned for that. All right. And then just a quick look at our Hoodoo Tarot Study sheet, tracking sheet. So you see over here, that column broken down. We have week 1. Technically, this is week 1, right? Today, opening day, giveaway announcement. And then I'm going to click my task status because basically it's good, it's complete. But I got homework. See, I got to come up with a poll. I didn't forget this. I got to come up with a poll for our book recommendation list. I then got to do our book recommendation list and put it on the platforms. And then also in the description box, going to make sure some key information is there after we're done tonight. And some video links for folks who would like to check those out. We got week 2. That's next Monday. Self-paced. We got a journal prompt for week 2 and a 1 to 3 card daily draw. I'm going to be placing the journal prompt information and my images in the Facebook group and on Instagram, tagging it, of course. And in the YouTube arena, I will just be doing like a community tab directing you to where I put this information at. So everybody's on the same page. And I'm going to select that and say I completed this task once I'm done with it. And technically, you really can't be done with it for those first 2 weeks until you have done the work, right? So theoretically, it'd be at the end of week 2 that you'd be checking it off if you printed this out or selecting it. And then I had an extra space for week 2 and all the weeks actually, where you can input what event or activity that you wanted to do or that you did. And please suggest any additional activities that you've come up with. Caring is sharing. And then so forth and so on. But see how this is highlighted right here in the soft yellow, the weeks 2 and 3? That's for everybody. That's for our commitment to the tarot study. All right. Oh, it's getting loud outside. So that's it. I'm going to now stop sharing and come back to my peeps. All right. Yeah, thank you, MA. I have privilege of learning from someone in the tradition, and I feel it gives me responsibility to do work on my own to study and understand. Yes. Oh, no. You're welcome. Thank you all for being a part of this with me. I'm excited. It's been something I've been like so juiced and jazzed about for so long, you guys. It just, what to say. My ninth grader just completed AP. Oh, it's taking me back to school. AP US History. Advanced placement, for those you guys who don't know. That's like the tippity top in the classes. Like, you have honors and you have advanced placement AP. Quick little FYI. And no mention of hoodoo. That is right. I remember taking AP US History. I'm a history fanatic, actually. It makes perfect sense that I love tarot cards. But that's right. No mention of it. And then when it's mentioned, it's villainized. And then we wonder why it's villainized now. And then no one understands. And no one even wants to sometimes bother to understand. I love the beautiful curiosity that's surrounding it now, right? Hopefully through this study, we continue the line of truth tellers and preservers. That's right. It was definitely a pure intention for me of what I was hoping for. Let's show. Let's learn and grow and show. Uh-oh. I blacked out for a minute. I saw that. Has anyone looked into the Ancestor Spirit Oracle? Now I'm curious. Why am I drawing a blank on what that is? Like, you guys, I've been kind of out of the shopping game. So it's usually y'all who have conveyed to me what decks it's happening. I'm no longer in the know. Ancestor Spirit Oracle, remind me who the creator is that? Thank you. I like pairing oracles when they get me to look more closely at imagery in the tarot card. Me too. This deck feels like it has so much context to read up on, so the cards will be a window. It is. And that's why, where is it? It's under all of my pile of stuff. That's why, with like the Herb Crafters and then this one, the Hoodoo Tarot. I start out with 1 card to 3 cards. And if I'm using an oracle, then it almost becomes too much information because my ancestors are like, look, I'm giving you 1 or 2 cards to get this message across. And then I do a little bit of like bibliomancy with them, with the Bible that my grandmother gave me. And I'll close my eyes and I'll kind of fumble through it and find intuitively stop at the verse to read aloud. And I swear it just always uncannily. So when someone, I forgot. Don't kill me. One of our group members had mentioned that they have a verses book, and I was like, is it JC? And they, I was like, oh, that's something similar that I want to do. I love that. So I just used my old Bible that my grandmother gave me. And it always is spot on. So there's always a lot of information in 1 or 2 cards. It almost is too much if I do a full spread. I did do the spread in the Hoodoo Tarot. Where is it? The one, where is it? It's a good one. See about your folks. See about your folks. I did that one. And I took a picture. I might have even done a video. Obviously unlisted. It's just for me. And so I saved that information when I recorded my reading that I did for myself with that spread in her book. Amazing. Obviously, it's what, a 9-card spread? It's a lot of cards, but they each have their own. So you have number 1, general message from your maternal line regarding who you are and how you live. Get this, you're gonna get a lot of information. You're gonna get a lot of information. Here's the 10 of coins. Isn't it like, it's what I have been craving for so long, guys. It was what I've been really craving was a deck that just had my family represented, my peoples. We are all different, like skin tones from very, very, very light and fair to very dark, and we all have different varying belief systems. Some of my peeps are very old school religious. Some of them are like Aaron. We were calling them superstitious. They weren't. That wasn't what it was. They were doing this work. Oh, anyways, I love the guidebook too, by the way. So let's see what else we're talking about. I've been considering a pendulum or even dowsing rods. Oh, cool. But I haven't ventured that far. That's okay. You'll get there. Don't you worry. You'll get there. You'll know when you're called, what you're called to. Ooh, yeah. I have pendulums. I haven't used them in a while, but they made the trek safe and sound here. I might be using them here. The work that I think that we'll be doing seems like it would lend itself. Hi, Ella. How may I help you? Oh, she's getting her mouse. Okay, go ahead. Okay. Oh, nice. I'm drying a bundle of garden sage that I grew on my back porch and may use that ritually to open and close the sacred space when doing this deck study journaling. Wonderful. That's another. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning that. And some of y'all are going to be advanced in letting us know what's what. Because I'm living in this rental spot, small rental spot, and my husband has allergies. The only thing anything I light up, incense, anything, he starts sneezing all over the place. So I'm going to have to just rely on the sprays that I've created, my little spiritual cleansing sprays, because, yeah. Unless I do it outside, we'll see. Ooh, maybe at the beach. Beach is only 5 minutes away driving. Ooh, I'll be using maize, corn casting, witch's runes, lots of golden sheen. Oh, golden sheen obsidian. I have a piece that's here with me. Love golden sheen obsidian. And I scry, and I do use a crystal ball, but I use my golden sheen obsidian. Oh, I know. With the herbs, I'm excited. Let's see. I'm going to see what is native here in this new country. Let's see for me to let that be what drives me. Also, how I want to work with a particular ancestor and a particular spell. So I'll let that drive it as well. It's lush here, but I know they don't all have the same things here. So I have to make sure a mosquito isn't biting me. Yes, right? I've been definitely neglecting the pendulum. Yes. So we use only the tarot, but it is allowed to add oracles. Great question. Like the ones we have been discussing here. Yes. Now, that being said, I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, in my world, in my eyes, it would be that we would just use the Hoodoo Tarot, but you could bring aboard any of your oracle decks that you like to use. But not everyone has the Hoodoo Tarot or want to use it, and that's fine. What I will be doing, similar to what I did with the Herbcrafters Tarot, is doing, I hate to call it comparison, but kind of comparison. But it's only for me because it's how I study my tarot decks when I'm looking at like my border, what? Like this. This will be out for me when I'm saying like next week when I sit down to do the Fool, the Magician, and the High Priestess. I'm going to have this deck. Uh-oh. Hold on, guys. Sorry, guys. I got to change cameras. I knocked it out. What happened? There we go. Why is it doing that? It's got me like just ridiculous. Like, how did I do that? How did I switch the cameras all over the place? I have the Uncommon Tarot. I'm just grabbing some right now. That I will be, like what I did with the Gaian Tarot, the Herb Crafters Tarot, the Smith Way. There was one other tarot I was looking at the time. I can't even remember what it was, with the Herb Crafters Tarot. So I have the Uncommon Tarot for those who want like another mass market to just do kind of a comparison. I wish I had put out some when I'm looking at the different cards and looking across and seeing the themes and just seeing how each of the images talk and speak to me and the meanings that I know from the guidebook. It just is interesting when I'm studying one particular deck and then I look at some of my favorite decks, and favorite decks kind of in that same kind of genre, if you will, like root work, ancestral work. So the Uncommon Tarot is one. I had a whole list, and I'm so mad. I typed this thing up and I don't see it saved. It's making me upset. I'm sure it's saved, and I just lights, camera, action. I'm like frozen. My Tazima African Tarot. This one, I will also probably from time to time be looking at it alongside the Hoodoo Tarot with the Smith Way, with the Hoodoo Tarot. I take three and kind of look at all three and just kind of get a feel for that. There's another one. But of course, it's not in a box. The Afro Tarot. This one I actually used. I used this one for the See About My Folks spread from the Hoodoo Tarot guidebook. I used this deck. I actually use this deck sometimes for client readings. It's a deck that I use between readings for myself and for others. So, to answer your question, all that to say, yeah, Oracle surrounding the Hoodoo Tarot, but it's okay if you have another deck you're using or comparing it to. Good question. No, and you can use the oracles, and I swear if the power goes out again, it's struggling, guys. I hear it like we have this famous box that I could tell when it's like it's struggling. Yeah, the prompts are great. And it's what got me all excited with the Hoodoo Tarot Study. I was like, oh, this is perfect. I'm going to use those as inspiration and jumping off points for our little weekly discussions and what we're going to be working on. So yeah, there's going to be some deep diving, folks. I hope you're excited and not scared. Don't be scared. But like I said, I'm wanting some evolution in our lives, big and small. Yeah, me too. She's great. The creator, she's great. The things that I've read of hers, working with the Sibil's Oraculum, granted, I've only really been using that deck with my ancestral root work back in the States, but I'm impressed with her work. Yeah, so it's okay if I do a Hoodoo Oracle pairing and post those two cards together. Yes. Thank you for your question. Yes, please do. Please do. I'm a person who likes to have a salad. I like to have like a mix of the main course, the hoodoo, with some little sides, you know. So please, definitely feel free to do that. Let's see what else. Uh-oh. Where are we? I get so lost in the comments. Where's the comments? Do I get? Okay. Yeah. 3 card draws is great for giving a narrative, depending in whatever narrative that you're seeking, past, present, future, you know, the context of the situation, you know, it, yeah. So that's why, Chris, I thought of you because you're like, well, what 1 card draws? Can we do more? Yes, we can. And I encourage you, if you're able to do more, do more. For me, I'm going to stick to 1 to 3 cards for my daily draws. And also, by the way, about those 2 weeks, once you've done your 2-week commitment, you can, you know, you don't have to stick to it after that for the daily draws. You could make it weekly. You could really make it weekly throughout, but I want to encourage you to do the 2 week solid of daily draws. So that's why I was like 1 to 3 cards, but if you can do more, definitely do more. Knock yourself out. Yeah. Let's see. I studied ethnomusicology in college, and one of the folks in my class did their project on hoodoo drumming. It was so interesting. Can you just imagine? First of all, I just love the sound of drumming. I have like a little drum, and there's, oh God, I could just imagine how amazing that would be. I might have to look. You know me. I'm gonna go on YouTube and see if I can find that hoodoo drumming. I wonder if we could have a post in the Facebook group where people could offer to buddy up for accountability support. Okay, you guys are giving me fantastic ideas that I'm gonna have to go back and make sure that I look at. I like that idea. Actually, let me write that down. Accountability partners. Yes, we can. I think now we have examples of how we can do that. Support. Wouldn't that be amazing? I think we should. I definitely would sign up for an accountability partner. And we've got our book list. And I'm going to also put in some video walkthroughs on the description. See? I'm so glad I got a pen. All right. Okay. Yeah, it is so important to fill in the gaps. I was just talking to my husband about that. It's like that job never ends. In fact, the more you know, the more you're like, oh my God, no, there's so much more to fill in the blanks for our kids. And I feel bad for the kids who are never going to get the filling in the blanks from their parents or anyone in their life. It's unfortunate. But hopefully as a society, we can grow and get better and be able to be somewhat better and filling in the gaps. Let's see. Yes. I love that. That's why I think she did such an amazing job, Diana, on the guidebook for the Hoodoo Tarot. She had a bibliography. I feel like the creator of the Ancestor Spirit Oracle could have gone just a tad bit deeper. Thank you. I need to look this one up. Why can't I remember? And do share about that. I want to hear y'all's opinions on that. The Ancestral Tarot, yes. That's why I ended up getting it too. So I was like, that's right. We talked about it in the Facebook group. I get that. He said, I don't like the artwork. Yeah, it's not for everybody. That's true. It's not for everybody. And the same with the angels and the ancestors. And what's funny is I actually like both. But there is some decks out there I'm like, everybody's in love with the artwork. And I'm like, I'm not feeling it. Okay. Yeah. See, sharing is caring. I use my pendulum. Okay. Just going through the comments, you guys, before I move on. Ooh, thank you. I have a sage spray. I can't burn sage anymore due to family allergies, right? Oh, it's okay. It's okay. One day we will be able to burn, but that's all right if we can't right now. All right, hold on. Mm-hmm. Me too. Me too. I connect that way and ask when you pull a clarified card, or if I can okay to move on, look deeper. Yes, everything's very intentional with when you're doing ancestral readings. For me personally, I'm like, It's not like when I'm doing tarot readings for a client. It's different. Even with the altar, everything is consulting with the ancestors to see if that is pleasing for them, or if they, when should I stop shuffling? Is this okay? Do I need a clarifier? Really? And they just intuitively hear it. At least for me, it's my experience. Yeah, I'm just loving your comments, guys. Ooh, now this is a lovely tip. If you're going to use the Ancestor Spirit Oracle deck, I would suggest getting National Geographic's People of the World book. It will help bring a lot of clarity to your ancestor readings. Thank you, Oyas girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, I love the Uncommon Tarot, but I find the guidebook is lacking. What I will say though is that it's tiny. Ooh, I don't like that book. It's tiny and it fits. And you're not going to get much. You're just going to get just a few keywords, some basic information. I mean, there's some decks that are more successful in just giving distinct information than others. But yeah, but I love the artwork. Sorry, guys. Take a sip. It's a beautiful deck. Oh, I was going to use the Hoodoo Tarot a few days ago, and the ancestors told me they didn't want me to talk to them right then. Thank you. You bring up another great point. Actually, my ancestors could be like that too. I'm like, and if I push the issue, I notice that the messages be like gobbledygook is what I call them. Gobbledygook messages. They're like, go somewhere, sit down. I said we no. Go child, go. But oh, your comment gave me life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I knew I was forgetting one. But see, okay, here lies the problem for me. My decks are not in their boxes. I'm one of those people that loves my boxes, but I couldn't travel with them. So I was like, I'm missing, there's one other one. Come on, Kim, you remember. It's Dust to Onyx. Yes, that will be one of the ones that I will be pulling down from time to time and comparing and looking at. And at some point, I'm probably, whether I do it on a public forum, like we're doing here, or if I just do it for myself, I will be studying the Dust to Onyx deck, going in depth with that one. But that's in the future for sure. But in the meanwhile, I can definitely, yes, that's a good one. Thank you for asking about it. Look at me all glowing and sweaty. Yeah, it is gorgeous for an intuitive reading, that's for sure. Okay. Oh. Okay. I like the smell of Palo Santo over white sage. And then I feel guilty. And I'm like, oh no, I shouldn't be using this. But when you know better, you do better. But I have so much Palo Santo that travel with me because I was, what else was I going to do? It's already in my little arsenal of things. So yeah, and I have an essential oil of Palo Santo. I just love the smell of it. It just smells so good. The Dust to Onyx or the Uncommon Tarot? Which one are we studying? Let me know. And the Land Back Tarot and the Oracle. And it funded. Congratulations, TK. It's her channel. It funded on Kickstarter. Yay! Congratulations. See, we have a lot of decks to vote on, you guys. I can't just be the only one making the decision. We have to vote collectively. So you have to propose. You have to put up your proposal. Okay, I'm just gonna show quickly, and then because we gotta. I don't want to keep you guys up all night. I feel guilty. I feel guilty. All right, so yeah, Ella's whining about the computer. Oracle decks that I'm going to be using. So y'all know I just unboxed the. Me too. I just unboxed the Southern Oracle by Cape Havoc. If you haven't seen it, check it out. But before I even go there, let me show you some of the other ones I'm going to be using. Obviously, the Sibil's Oraculum, which I keep in this little deal. There it is. I'm not, for time's sake, I'm not going to do a full flip through because you guys can see that on the channel. See, it says progresses, gradual progress. You guys, I need you to keep it down. Detachment, transformation. Love the color palette too with the Hoodoo Tarot. So here's the Sibil's Oraculum, one of my oracles. He said, okay, he's like, of course, Dust to Onyx. Okay, I would love to do an indie deck, and it would be the Dust to Onyx. I just want to make sure that folks because I don't know who all has the deck. And so we would have to pose it out to see who's interested. I have it. Thank you, Fred, who gave that to me. So it's going to show you. I'm not going to do like a full flip through because I just literally unboxed this week. Not the same color palette, but because it has some Southern phrases on the deck and because I just kind of like the feel of it. With the Hoodoo Tarot, it's not the same color palette, but I'm not bothered by that. I just really, really like the phrases. I don't know. I might have to do a video where I'm like doing like a little comparison of ones. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, doesn't that match nicely? I'm assuming you're talking, well, I like to think both of them match nicely, but you'll let me know. Oh, wait, hold on. Does anyone here use cowrie shells? I do. I actually do. I do use cowrie shells. Is that how you pronounce it? Oh, that's how you pronounce it. All right, Naomi, thank you for joining. I know we've been on here for a while. We're almost done. I'm going to do the giveaway announcement. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for amazing questions, suggestions, and love. See you later. Okay. And I'm caught up with the chat. Any other oracles? Oh, the Divine Muses I will be using as well. Here's the backs. I really like this deck. I really like the creator too, Marie Bento. I met her a couple of times at the Northwest Tarot Symposium. Just an amazing person. I have her Lua Tarot. I don't have her other tarot deck. What was it called? forgot what it's called. But yeah, I really like this deck. Let me also show you why I really like this deck. This is guidebook though. Look how chunky this is for an oracle guide. So chunky, so in depth. You don't need, and that's why I like a deck with some keywords. You don't necessarily need to just bust out a guidebook every single time. I don't, but sometimes I do. And when I do, I'm grateful when I have something juicy like this to dive into. And then the other oracle that's not like on the market, it's just something I created with my playing cards. I call it my massive. I counted them and had to index how many, like what keywords were recently. It's 157 cards. It's called my Ancestral Healing Oracle that I have created. And it's not the same style whatsoever, but it's one that I use. I want to call it Ancestral Healing. Stock images. And this is what I also want to show you all, is that you can use whatever deck that really resonates to speak to you in this work and process. See? Totally different style, but I don't care. I'm going to use it anyway because it works for me. The decks that I create, that I use in my hotline readings, and I'm thinking about doing a video on that. It's like the decks that I use for those in my like love readings, my love hotline readings. They're ones that I've created. Like I have one called the Love Repellent Oracle, and I have one that's called Symbols of Attraction. So I make my own little oracles too. So use what you're called to use. And make sure I've covered everything. So before I let you all go. Oh, there will be periodic, so I mentioned to you guys about the videos that are coming out where I go over the cards, the majors, many of the minors, of course. If you all would be so kind as, if you are content creators and you feel called to do some videos, definitely share, because, you know, then I won't have to carry all the burden of doing all the content creation. And I will, of course, but, you know, it's fun. It makes it more fun, too. I don't want to be the only sole voice out here talking about it. I will be doing periodic lives across the platforms, across YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, especially in the Facebook group, where we're touching base and seeing what is coming up for us in this work that we're doing. Okay. I will be doing a series called Getting to Know with Abundant Life Tarot. So I've put a call out to those to chat with me live. We'll set up a time, and you may not have the deck, or you may not do root work, but you know, you've been around with your peeps. We can have a conversation. We can get to know one another and get to know our greater community and the work that we're doing. So I'm excited because I will be doing a Getting to Know on Tuesday, and I will be posting up the I'll schedule it with the live stream and invite you all. I'm really excited. I'm so excited about this. Going to be with Orsi's Dragorsi's Tarot, and we're going to just chit chat and have a good time next Tuesday the 8th, June 8th. But there's going to be more. There's going to be more times where we're going to be chatting and discussing. But aside from getting to know, I'm just going to be periodically doing lives and touching base to see how we're doing, see where we are in our worksheets. How are we feeling? How if things come up, what has come up, etc. All right. I mentioned about doing video responses, creating videos, posts, all that fun stuff, and then tagging it Hoodoo Tarot Study. I will be recreating my altar, my ancestral altar. And as we speak, the office is coming together, but I'm going to start looking at the things that I have from my old altar And some things I'm going to be keeping to myself, of course, but some things I can share with you. And certainly I can share with you when I go to some of the Haitian stores that when I went in there before, they seem to have things that I would like to have. Some things for my altar space. So respectfully, of course, if they let me record, I will. If not, then I'll just kind of do a haul of what I got. We'll see how it goes. Usually the people are pretty kind and cool. It's just a language barrier for me to be asking what I want to do. Like I want to film in here, and I got to be able to have that ready on the ready to say in French. So it's French, Spanish, English. All right, giveaway time announcement. Finally, thank you all for hanging in there. So I am doing a giveaway, and it's been a while. I think the last giveaway I did was December before I moved out here. And I usually try to do it more frequently, but because I had to get my life together, get my head together, get my decks together, we had to push it back. So I am going to be posting a separate video tonight, just doing this. It'll have a link to where you enter for the giveaway. And the giveaway will be there'll be a total of 4 winners. Either you could win the Hoodoo Tarot, or if you already have the Hoodoo Tarot and you don't have the Sibil's Oraculum, we can get that for you. So Hoodoo Tarot or Sibil's Oraculum. There will be 2 winners for that. So first and second place winners is basically the same prize. Third and fourth place winners will be the same prize. It'll be a 15 to 20 minute video reading with me and the Hoodoo Tarot and probably an Oracle that we choose. And yours truly, me, I'll do a reading for you. And I'm super excited. So 4 winners. And I will do a separate link with just simple instructions. It's how I always do my giveaways. You put your information in this contact form. I don't share anything. It's just a contact form that helps me to easily track the submissions. So I'm not looking all over the place over Facebook or over Instagram or in comments and here. It just makes it so much easier. So yeah, we're having a giveaway. I'm super excited. So for those of you who don't have the deck yet, this is an opportunity to win. And then if you don't win a deck, you may win a reading with me. So I hope you will enter. This is for those who are Abundant Life Tarot Facebook group members, subscribers to the channel, or Instagram followers. So yeah, if you are one of those, then by all means enter the giveaway and good luck. I'm so excited to be doing the giveaway. Oh, one thing about the giveaway though is I will be using Amazon to do the shipment. So if you're in a place that cannot get Amazon, and I understand that completely, but if you are, this unfortunately is, at least for the decks, if you want to win, so try to aim and win something else, the readings, you're more than welcome to win that. But the decks have to be shipped from Amazon. That's what I find is the easiest. I'm sorry. That's just the one little thing. Just one little thing. But yay, I'm so excited because then for those who were like maybe bummed that they didn't get the deck or they don't have it and whatever, funds is funds. I always set aside a little bit of money for giveaways in the future. Sometimes that budget is bigger, sometimes it's smaller. It just depends on how many readings I'm seeing, But I always try to set aside a little something for a giveaway. Nothing fancy, but it's a giveaway. Not like when I was in the States where I could actually, package it up and wrap it, We'll get there. Yeah, Divine Muses is amazing, isn't it? I could do standalone readings with that oracle. Like what I mean by that is I don't need a tarot. Like I could just use that as the main course. Yes, 157. What is? I forgot. Yes. Yes, it's 100. Okay. In my defense, what I sometimes do is there's some things that are like healing modalities. So if I just wanted a deck, an ancestral healing deck that deals with healing modalities or rituals, I pull out those cards and make my own little mini oracles from them, or regions of the world, or things like that. So it's 157 cards, but honestly, I'm not using them all at the same time. I might end up using, maybe at one time, it'll be like this many, if that makes any sense. So, and if I shuffle, if I felt like I needed to use the whole deck, I split them up and I shuffle it in sections. And then, but usually it's because I'm using it to pull from for different purposes with that oracle. Yeah. Hello, Blossominiana. I like your name. Oh, thank you for joining and for watching the replay. Yes, yes, thank you. I'm so happy you're here. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Let's see. Thank you, Essence 818. I appreciate you. Yes, I love giveaways. They're so, like, back when I was in the States, it was so much fun for me. I don't necessarily, you know what's funny about me is I don't really enter them. Not because I don't think I won't win or anything like that, but I just don't. I just don't enter them. But I love giving them. I love, and they're like, maybe that's just what it is in the world. There's some of us who just want to do the giving, and some of us want to receive. Never, now I'll always be the givers and don't always be the receivers. Shake it up. I gotta shake it up too, but it's fun. It's fun. Oh, thank you. I thought it'd be nice, and then it'll be the one time that I'm using like my ancestral tarot deck, the Hoodoo Tarot, right? What I use for that, to use it with someone who's also doing some special work with it, with their own copy as well. Or maybe you don't have it, but it just is a little different to me than like a client coming through the hotline or off the street or somewhere, and I'm like busting it out and just using it, and it would be fine. It would totally be fine to use the Hoodoo Tarot for that purpose. I don't see nothing wrong with it. It's just not how I feel like it's more sacred for me. But yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you came. Thank you. Thank you for engaging and interacting. This was fun, you guys. This is how I like to spend my Friday nights. I don't know about y'all. Like, my friends out here in the DR, they're like, why are you like, they're like, they can't understand why I was scheduled live on this night when they're like, let's go out, let's do it. I'm like, I want to be with the tarot crowd. That's where I want to be at. Sorry, y'all. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. I'm glad to do it. I'm glad to do it. We all have to find our way of how we give back to our community. You guys have given so much to me. This community has given so much to me. So it just feels right to find a way that I can give back too. So thank you. I appreciate you saying that. Yeah. I love randomly gifting. Isn't that fun? Not everybody wants to do that, but I do. I think it's fun. Hey, Jen. Thank you. You are gorgeous as well. Hello. Thank you for joining us. All right, guys. Well, I've kept you on and long enough, haven't I? I was intending for this to only be like an hour, and look at me rambling on and on. But it was a lot of things that we needed to cover and get ready. Oh, yes, that's right. And my little daughter, Ella, who started her little channel, she's like, you need to shout me out. I'm shouting her out now. Her little name is Crunch. And if you have a kid who's into Minecraft, right? Minecraft. Every time I do a video or something or another, she's like, you need to show me. I'm like, it's not appropriate. My peeps aren't really into that. But you guys might know other little peeps. And I keep a watchful eye over the content that she's putting out and who's lurking around, But she's trying to be a YouTuber too, like her mama. All right, guys, good night. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining the Hoodoo Tarot Study group. Can't wait to see you all around. And I will see you all in all these platforms. All right, take good care. Bye.
Shout out for Wayne.
No shout out for Wayne.
Look, I can't